Good morning, students. In this lecture of mechanics, we will discuss numericals related to the chapter rigid body dynamics or the motion of the rigid body. So today's numericals, they are based upon Euler's equations of motion, which we have derived in one of the previous lectures. So we have given a two-particle rigid rotator, and as we all know that a two-particle rigid rotator, it consists of two point masses having equal mass, and that equal mass is suppose small m, and these two point masses, they are joined to a massless rod having length 2a. So here we have two point masses having equal mass small m, and they are connected or they are joined to a massless rod of length a plus a, that is 2a. And this rod, or you can say that this whole combination of two-particle rigid rotator, it is rotating with angular velocity omega. So it will rotate with angular velocity omega about its axis of rotation. But what is the direction of its axis of rotation? So here it is written down that it is rotating with angular velocity omega about an axis which is passing through its center of mass. It means its axis of rotation, it passes through its center of mass. So what will be the center of mass of this? Because the two point masses, they carry equal mass, so the center of mass, it will lie at equal distance from both of these masses, means it will lie at origin O of the coordinate system at a distance a from both the masses. So this point is the center of mass. So the axis of rotation, the axis about which this two-particle rigid rotator, it will rotate, it will pass through this center of mass of the rigid rotator. Then one more thing which is given, that axis of rotation makes an angle theta with the rod of the rotator, that the axis about which this rod will rotate, it makes an angle theta with the axis of rotation. So we know two things about the axis of rotation. One, that it will pass through the center of mass of the two-particle rigid rotator, and the second thing is that it makes an angle theta with this rod. So this will be the axis of rotation. So this is the axis of rotation about which this two-particle rigid rotator, it rotates by making an angle theta. So what about this angular velocity omega? We all know that the direction of angular velocity vector, it is in the direction of axis of rotation. So that is why I have taken this omega vector, that is the direction of this angular velocity vector in the direction of axis of rotation. Now what we have to do is, using Euler's equations for the motion of the rigid body, we have to find the torque which is required to maintain the rotational motion of this rotator. This rotator, it will rotate about this axis of rotation in this way, and it will follow this path. This mass, it will follow this path, and this mass, it will follow this path. So we need to know the value of the torque which is required to maintain this rotational motion of this rotator, and then we will also find the angular momentum of this two-particle rigid rotator. So here you can see that we have taken this two-particle rigid rotator in the direction of y-axis. So we have taken two-particle rigid rotator, two-particle rigid rotator along y-axis and x-axis, it is perpendicular to the y-axis but in the same plane. So xy plane is the plane in which this axis of rotation lies. This axis of rotation, it lies in xy plane. So we have taken x-axis perpendicular to y-axis and in the same plane of y-axis and axis of rotation. So we know that x-axis, it is always perpendicular to y-axis, but this x-axis, it can lie in the different plane and it can also lie in the same plane. The choice is ours. So here we have taken this x-axis in the same plane of y-axis and axis of rotation. Means this axis of rotation, it lies in xy plane. Implies axis of rotation, it lies in xy plane. So what about z-axis? Z-axis is perpendicular to this plane in this way. Z-axis is perpendicular to this plane and it will also pass through the center of mass of the two particle rigid rotator. So Z-axis is taken. Z-axis is taken perpendicular to xy plane and directed outward from the plane of the paper. From the plane of the paper. So now we will write down the values of principal moments of inertia of this two particle rigid rotator. So what will be the three components of principal moments of inertia? Those three components will be Ixx, which we can also write as Ix, Iy, which is Iyy, then Iz. So these are the three principal moments of inertia of this two particle rigid rotator. So what will be the principal moment of inertia about x-axis? About x-axis, what will be the principal moment of inertia? As we have two masses and we know that moment of inertia is m1r1 square plus m2r2 square plus m3r3 square and so on. So here first mass is m and this is the principal moment of inertia about x-axis. So what is the distance of this mass m from x-axis? It is a. So ma square plus m2r2 square. m2 is also equal to m. And what is the distance of this second mass from x-axis? It is also a. So ma square plus ma square, it will be 2ma square. Then what about moment of inertia about y-axis? So this is y-axis. So the distance of the two masses from y-axis is 0. So that is why this moment of inertia of the two particle rigid rotator about y-axis is 0. Then what about principal moment of inertia about z-axis? This is the z-axis. perpendicular to xy plane. So again it will be m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square and so on. So here you can see this m1 is equal to m here, and what is the distance of this perpendicular distance of this mass from z-axis? It is a. So it will be ma square plus second mass is m2 is m, and what is the distance of this mass m from this z-axis perpendicular distance? It is again a. So ma square plus ma square, it is again 2ma square. So we have found out the values of principal moments of inertia of a two-particle rigid rotator. And we know that in case of Euler's equations of motion for the rigid body, to find the values of torque, we need the values of principal moments of inertia, and also we need to know the values of the components of angular velocity vector, that is omega x, omega y and omega z. So now we will calculate the components of angular velocity vector, that is omega x, omega y and omega z. So here as you can see that this axis of rotation, it lies in xy plane, as you can see, and this omega vector, it is in the direction of axis of rotation. It means this omega vector, it also lies in xy plane, and if this omega vector lies in xy plane, so its z component will be 0. So omega z is 0. So what about omega x and omega y? You can calculate from this figure. This omega vector, it makes an angle theta with the y-axis. So the component of omega vector in the direction of this y-axis, it will be omega cos theta. And what will be the component of omega vector in the perpendicular direction? It will be omega sin theta. So it will have y component in the direction of y-axis. So omega y is omega cos theta, because this omega vector, it makes an angle theta with y-axis. So this will act as a base of this right angle triangle. If you draw a perpendicular from this omega in this direction, so this will act as a base. So that is why the component of omega in the direction of y-axis omega cos theta, and this will be the perpendicular. So its perpendicular component will be omega sin theta, because perpendicular upon hypotenuse is sin theta. So if this component is omega sin theta and this is parallel, so this component will also be omega sin theta. So x component is omega sin theta. So now we have found out the values of principal moments of inertia, also the values of or the components of angular velocity, and now we will put all these values to calculate the values of torque required to maintain the rotational motion of this rotator by using Euler's equations of motion for the rigid body. So this is the first Euler equation of motion of a rigid body, and the second equation is tau y, which is equal to Iy d omega y by dt minus Iz minus Ix omega z into omega x, and third one is tau z, which is Iz d omega z by dt minus Ix minus Iy. You have to remember these Euler's equations of motion. So now we will put the values of Ix, Iy, Iz and omega x, omega y, omega z in these three equations. Suppose this is equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. So when we will put the values in equation 1, so it will give us tau x, x component of the torque, and it will be equal to, what is the value of Ix? It is 2ma square d by dt of value of omega x is omega sine theta minus iy is 0 minus iz is 2ma square. Omega y is omega cos theta, but omega z is 0. So this 0 multiplied with all this, it will make this term equal to 0. So we have x component of torque, it is equal to 2ma square into d by dt of this. But now we know that it is given that two particle rigid rotator, it is always at angle theta from the axis of rotation. So this means that theta will remain constant. And also that this two particle rigid rotator, it is rotating with angular velocity omega. It means it will not change. So omega is also constant. And if omega and theta both are constant, then they will not change. And what is this d by dt? It is change with respect to time. But both omega and theta, they can't change, they don't change in this case with respect to time. So this change will be 0. So this 2ma square into 0, it will be equal to 0. So x component of torque, it is equal to 0. Now put the values in equation 2, and equation 2 will give us the y component of torque, and it is equal to, what is the value of iy? It is 0. So 0 into this, it will be 0. Minus value of iz, it is 2ma square, and value of ix is, it is also 2ma square. So 2ma square minus 2ma square, it will be 0. So y component of torque is also 0. And what about z component of torque? For that, put all the values in third Euler equation of motion of rigid body. So this third equation, it will give us z component of torque, and it is equal to, value of iz is 2ma square d by dt of, now this omega z is 0. So it will make this whole term equal to 0. Minus, what is the value of ix? It is 2ma square minus value of iy is 0. What is the value of omega x? It is omega sine theta, and the value of omega y is omega cos theta. So what is the z component of torque? Tau z, it is equal to, first term is 0. So here we have 2ma square minus 0 will be 2ma square minus 2ma square. This omega into omega will be omega square sine theta into cos theta. So sine theta into cos theta. So this is the z component of torque. So only the z component of torque is non-zero. Both x component and y component both are 0. This means that to maintain the rotational motion of the two particle rigid rotator, torque must be applied in the direction of z-axis. That is why only z component is non-zero. Both x and y components, they are 0. So we have just found out the components of torque required to maintain the motion of the rotator. So now what will be the value of this torque in the form of vector form along with its direction? So it will be tau x I cap plus tau y j cap plus tau z k cap. Put the values, tau x is 0, tau y is 0. So the value of tau vector, which is the torque required to maintain the motion of the rigid body, it is minus 2ma square, putting the value of tau z, omega square sine theta cos theta into k cap. And this minus k cap, it tells us that the direction is of this torque, it is along negative z-axis. And then what about angular momentum? we also have to calculate the angular momentum of the body. And we know that angular momentum L vector along the principal axis, it is equal to Ix omega x I cap plus Iy omega y j cap plus Iz omega z k cap. So put the values of Ix, Iy, Iz and omega x, omega y, omega z to calculate the direction of angular momentum and magnitude of angular momentum of the two particle rigid rotator. So what is the value of Ix? It is 2ma square, and the value of omega x is omega sine theta into I cap, plus value of Iy is 0. So this will make this whole term 0, and here the value of this omega z is 0. It means, what is the direction of angular momentum vector? 2ma square omega sine theta. This will tell us the magnitude of angular momentum, and this I cap tells us that the direction of L vector is along plus I cap. We have plus I cap is along positive x-axis. That is why in the figure we have shown the direction of this L vector along positive x-axis. So that you have to show is after this doing this numerical. So from the calculations, the direction of L vector, it comes out to be in the direction of positive x-axis. So that is why we have taken down its direction in the positive x-axis. So this is all about this numerical number 2, that is based upon Euler's equations of motion of a rigid body, and there is one another numerical. Here we are given a circular disc. Instead of two particle rigid rotator, we have a circular disc here having mass capital M and radius R. And what is the condition on the rotational motion of this circular disc? The condition on the motion of this disc is that, and what the meaning of constraint is, that there is some condition over the rotational motion of the circular disc. And what is that condition? That this circular disc, it rotates with an angular velocity omega vector about a fixed axis, and that axis, it passes through its center of mass. So one thing, that the axis of rotation, or the axis about which this circular disc will rotate with angular velocity omega vector, it passes through its center of mass, and center of mass of the circular disc, it lies at its center. So this is the circular disc with center at point O, and its center of mass, it also lies at this O point, and this O point, it is also acting as the origin of the coordinate system XYZ. And this omega vector, if we have taken this axis of rotation, this as axis of rotation, and it passes through the center of mass, and we know that the direction of angular velocity vector, it will be in the direction of axis of rotation. But one more thing, that this axis of rotation, it makes an angle theta with normal to the disc. What is the normal to the disc? Normal means perpendicular to the disc. This axis of rotation, it makes an angle theta with the perpendicular to the disc. So again, here also we have supposed that this circular disc, it lies in XY plane. So suppose circular disc lies in XY plane, and if circular disc lies in XY plane, therefore Z axis will be the normal to the disc. Therefore Z axis will be normal, or you can say that perpendicular to the disc. So here we have shown that this Z axis, it is perpendicular to this disc, perpendicular to XY plane. because z-axis is perpendicular to xy plane and disk lies in xy plane, so z-axis it will also be perpendicular to the disk, and therefore axis of rotation makes an angle theta with z-axis, makes an angle theta with z-axis, because it makes an angle theta with the perpendicular to disk, and perpendicular to disk is z-axis. So this axis of rotation, it makes an angle theta with z-axis. And now what we have to do is, using Euler's equations of motion of a rigid body, again we have to find the torque required to maintain this rotational motion of this disk and also find its angular momentum. For that, we need to find the values of principal moments of inertia and the components of angular velocity vector. So what will be the principal moment of inertia of the disk? About x-axis, about y-axis and about z-axis. So as you know that this circular disk, it lies in xy plane. So Ix will be the moment of inertia about an axis which passes through one of the diameters of the circular disk. Because this is R, this will also be R. So this x-axis, the moment of inertia about x-axis, it will be in the direction of one of the diameters of this circular disk. So in year 10+1, you have studied these moments of inertia. You have calculated the moment of inertia for spherical shell, for solid sphere, for rod, for circular disc, for circular ring there. So by using the two theorems of moment of inertia, theorem of parallel axis and theorem of perpendicular axis. So Ix is in that case moment of inertia about one of the diameters of the circular disc. It is equal to 1/4 mr square. So I have written it down directly. And similarly Iy, it is also in the direction of one of its diameters. So again Iy will be 1/4 mr square. But what about z-axis? Z-axis is perpendicular. Actually it is shown in this direction, but it is in this way. If this paper is a disc, then the direction of z-axis is this. So z-axis is the axis perpendicular to the diameters of circular disc. So by using the theorem of perpendicular axis, Iz will be 1/2 mr square. This you have to remember, these three values. Now what about the components of angular velocity vector? Omega x, omega y and omega z, we will calculate these. So now what will be the value of omega x? It will be the component of omega, so omega into cos. And what is the angle between x-axis and omega vector? What is the angle between x-axis and omega vector? Here one thing I have taken it wrong. In the book they have taken this axis as x-axis and this as y-axis. So according to your book, this is x, this is y, and you can also take it as xy, you can also take it as xyz. So it's up to you. So accordingly, this omega x, omega y, omega they will interchange and there will be no effect over this numerical because it will solve its solution accordingly. So if this is y, this is x, then according to your book, this is omega x, that is the x component of omega vector. Omega cos, what is the angle between omega vector and x-axis? If this is x-axis and this is omega vector, We know that x-axis and z-axis both are perpendicular to each other. So this angle will be 90 degree. And we have to find the angle between x-axis and omega vector. So it will be 90 plus theta. So omega cos 90 plus theta. And what is cos 90 plus theta? It is second quadrant. And in second quadrant cos is negative. So omega x will be minus omega sin theta. Cos 90 plus theta is minus sin theta. Then what about omega y? Y component of omega vector. It will be omega cos. Now what is the angle between omega vector and y-axis? This is y-axis. This is omega vector. And this omega vector, what is its angle? It's 90 degree. So cos 90 will be 0. So omega y is 0. And what about omega z? It makes an angle theta with the z-axis. So the component of omega in the direction of z, it will be omega cos theta. So this is z component. Now you can easily found out the value of angular momentum vector, that is L vector. So this will be the required value of angular momentum vector after putting the values of ix omega x, iy omega y and iz omega z. So now we will find the values of tau x, tau y, tau z by using the Euler's equations of motion of a rigid body like we did in our last numerical. Now when you will put all the values of ix, d omega x, iy, iz, this x component will come out to be 0. Solve this by putting the values again. Here omega x, it is minus omega sin theta. Again omega is also constant, theta is also constant. So if omega and theta will not change, it means this will be 0 in this case. We have to written down, mention the reason here, that this omega and theta both are constants. So then by using the second Euler's equations of motion of a rigid body, the value comes out to be this, and again tau z will again be 0 after putting the values in third Euler equation of motion. And then we know that tau vector is tau x I cap plus tau y j cap plus tau z k cap. So put this value here. So the direction of torque required to maintain the motion of the rigid body, it is along y axis.